Welcome to your weekly messages for November 6th through the 12th. So let's see. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing spreads for everybody, or like, you know, the Choose Your Own Adventure spreads, it's going to be just one 3-card pick right after the other. So all of the messages are independent of each other. So anywho, I hope that you enjoy this, and let me know in the comments if you like this style or if you prefer me to do like mini spreads, because I think that this just, no matter what time you hop on, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can like jump in at any time and the messages will still probably resonate. So I'm going to get started with Marielle. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so just go ahead, and if you have a bunch of questions that need answers, you're welcome to just focus in on that question for each 3-card pick. You know, what do I need to know about blah, 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 and then just apply each reading to whatever question you asked. Okay, so card number 1, we have the Magician. So this is harnessing your own ability to manifest and create. So it's kind of like watch the words that you speak, because it could, you know, it's not immediate when it comes to manifestation, but sometimes you'll notice things like, wow, I just said that exact thing and it happened. So it's all about your ability to manifest. If you need something, now is the right time to meditate. Use your manifestation tools. Write about it. Whatever your process is. And if you're just hopping on, I'm going to be doing continuous 3-card picks. So each time I bring up a new deck, it's going to be a new reading. Okay? So here we go with card number 2, we have Justice. So really big messages coming through since we have the major arcana. So this is decision making and processing. So do you have a big picture thing that you're working on, or that you have to decide between this or that? Or are you trying to achieve some type of equilibrium between a couple areas of your life? That is kind of the focal point for your week, or your question is all about decision making, making the tough calls and the tough choices. Okay, and then for card number 3, we have Temperance. I had a feeling this one was going to come up when I said equilibrium, balance. I absolutely love this card. And this is kind of taking a fiery approach to things. It's that, you know, that fire and water. Is really coming up big time. So just take it easy this week. If you picked Temperance, it's all about, you know, if you kind of want to achieve balance within everything that you do, or figure out what that looks like. So it is about the exploration of, you know, what is balance. If you eat a cookie, you know, also eat some vegetables. If you're working really hard, watch some Netflix. Like, it's about achieving that balance and making sure you're working and playing, that you're doing all of those things as well. Okay, and so now I'm gonna pull an angel card for each. And again, these are separate, so you can pick whichever one is resonating with you. You know, unless you decide to stick with like, oh, I'm just gonna stay in zone number 1. Whatever feels right for you. Just trust that the messages that you need to hear are gonna come through. Okay, so card number 1, we have Aurora. You're flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So keep up the good work. Keep making things happen, keep pushing forward, moving towards your goals, doing all of the things, even if it seems scary. You just want to keep working towards what you feel is best, right, and true for yourself. Okay, card number 2, Mystique, keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. So it's definitely about calling in those resources, calling in the things that you need, and moving forward in a direction that you know is right for you. But it's also kind of like this, there's a little bit of this card that has an aspect of the Fool, where you kind of have to take the leap first and then watch the solutions appear. So it's definitely like, you know, you have to step first and trust that, you know, you're going to be caught and that you're going to be supported throughout that. Okay, and then card number 3, we have Maya. Schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily mean education in terms of an institution. It's actually about what do you need to learn. That could be something like if you're starting a business, you pick up a personal or a business development book, or if you're struggling with anxiety, you know, there's some great audiobooks that you can use to help you. It's all about educating yourself, learning about whatever you need to work on is kind of up for evaluation right now in a really great way. So make sure you take advantage of this time period and that you apply all of the resources that you have into educating yourself on whatever you need to make improvements on. You know, we can always get better, we can always evolve and grow, and so that now is the time to do that. Okay, so go ahead and focus on the next card that's calling to you. All right, card number 1, Ace of Cups. New emotional beginnings. This could also be an emotional offer within some type of partnership, or this is something where you are kind of being reborn emotionally. So there's a huge transformation within yourself around starting fresh emotionally, or perhaps this has to do with your ability to communicate your emotions is kind of taking taking a turn for the better. Okay, card number 2, we have the Hermit. So retreat, pulling back from the external world and becoming introspective. That way you're able to reflect, grow, change, evolve in the way that you need to. Again, it's all about that balance between the two. It's the socializing and the introspection. It's about finding a way to use the Hermit to your advantage in order to push yourself and your goals forward. It looks like you could really need a break right now. If you feel that this card is really resonating with you, it's definitely, I'm getting, the message of, okay, it's time to rest. Take a break, take a step back, and just, really sink into that retreat. Okay, card number 3, 3 of Wands. So it's kind of like you're waiting for that thing to come in. There's something that you're waiting for and you're kind of looking for it to appear. You're like, all right, I've been working on this, waiting for it to happen. Now, when's it going to show up? So that one's pretty straightforward. It's just about there's something that you're waiting. And so I don't see this as coming through this week necessarily, but it's just like you're in that limbo waiting period. Okay. Go ahead and focus. Do you have another question? Are you just picking a card that resonates with you? Go ahead and tune in to what feels right. Card number 1, 3 of Wands again, but this is different. So the message in the Wild Unknown, when I interpret this card, it looks like you're putting things together. This has less to do with waiting and more to do with let me, patch everything together, get my poop in a pile, and just, really bring things together in the way that I want. So this is about building and structure and creating for yourself. So what project are you working on? There's a lot of creativity that's sitting on this card, and it's all about, you know, what are you doing to create a better environment and future for yourself. Okay, card number 2, we have the Sun. Beautiful. This is expansion, clarity, good things coming in, pleasant outcomes. And you have to trust, like when I say pleasant outcomes, it's whatever's in the highest good. So it may not look exactly how you want it, but it is opening up that space so that you're able to expand and really grow into who you're becoming. Card number 3, we have 5 of cups, 5 of coins. So there's a little bit of disappointment energy coming through, and that's okay. It's just about, you know, not necessarily getting every single thing that you want in the time frame that you want it. So that's okay. We all have to go through that. It's just there's a little bit of disappointment rolling in. I would recommend not dwelling on that too much. Don't let yourself like hang out. Validate your feelings, honor the process that you're going through, and then also call on your support system and whatever it is that feels right for you to do self-care wise. Okay, go ahead, tune in. Which card? Card number 1. 9 of Swords. So this is a big fear picture. Fear of things not working out, ending badly. It's kind of like there's, it's like the precursor to the Tower, right? Tower is like true destruction and transformation that, you know, you have to experience that purge. This is like a step back. This is like, I'm just looking at the fear, but it's not necessarily real. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, the bird is close, but nothing's actually happening. It's just trying to intimidate you. So that's what is going on here, where it's just, it's not as real as you may think. Okay, so that's a good thing. It's really in your head. It's just kind of like dress rehearsing tragedy. So look out for that, and you know, it might be a good time to have other people around you to ground you so that you don't get so sucked into that fear. Card number 2, we have the High Priestess. This is you stepping into your own intuition, listening to your body, listening to your higher self, honoring the things that are coming up for you. Especially with, you know, this recent full moon was absolutely brutal for a lot of people. So I know that there's a lot of stuff that has been purged, that's been healed and let go. And so now it's about rebuilding. It's about establishing that trust with your higher self and understanding that you really do have a lot of access to information within yourself. So pay attention to the cues, pay attention to the synchronicities around you. Just notice, notice, notice. Okay, card number 3, we have the Sun. Okay, so that is, again, it's like just everything coming together. The message that's coming through for this is divine timing. So make sure that you are being patient and you are trusting this process. Whatever you're going through or waiting for, it's kind of like, yes, things are happening and moving forward. Just make sure that you are keeping yourself grounded and healthy as things move forward. Okay, got another oracle deck. Okay, focus on the card that's calling to you. Card number 1, we have feminine. So divine femininity. The biggest thing that's standing out right now are the snakes. And so snakes are the protector of divine femininity. Like that is the symbol of feminine wisdom, intuition, insight, and exploration within the feminine form. And so this is about exploring your own femininity, regardless, it's, you know, outside of gender. It completely transcends that. This is the archetypal idea of the feminine, and you're really creating that for yourself in your world, in your everyday life. So make sure that you are tuning in to your creativity and the insight that you have coming from the women around you, like the really strong, powerful, feminine people around you. Card number 2, we have birth. So something new is starting. There was a seed that you planted a while ago that now you get to see the fruits of your labor. And it's just starting. It's kind of like you're seeing it first emerge, even though it's not fully grown. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. Now things are finally picking up steam and moving forward. So make sure that you pay attention to that this week. You could easily see something show up for you that feels really good and empowering, because this is all coming from your hard work. Card number 3, we have surrender. Surrender, surrender, surrender. This is getting in touch with your higher power, whatever that looks like for you. I talk to a lot of people who call themselves atheists, but then believe that there's something else out there. So it's kind of like surrendering to whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you. God, divine source, the universe, whatever you call it. It's all about turning everything over to that divine source that you put your faith in, and really honoring this process of turning your will over. You know, if you're struggling, if you're having anxiety, if you're feeling defeated, turn it over, turn it over, turn it over. Okay, so card number 1, 3 of Pentacles. This is you getting to work. I love this card. How she's like working on this statue, this big masterpiece. So it's all about you really putting the effort in to whatever you're trying to create. Now is the time to actually put in that effort, put in that work. Okay, card number 2, we have the High Priestess again. So this is your own intuition, you tuning in to your own body, you tuning into your intuition. I'm not going to go too into it because there are a lot of the same messages coming through for this card that there was in the last High Priestess that I pulled. So, it's all about listen to your body and listen to the messages that are going on around you. If you have a bad feeling about something or a gut instinct, I would highly, highly, highly recommend listening to that. Do not ignore your body's responses to the stimulation that you have around you. So make sure that you are just being hyper aware of what's going on. Okay, and card number 3, we have the Hierophant. Okay, so this is, it's like union. That's the word that's coming up, is the union between you and a person, a project, something that you've been waiting to come to fruition for a while. It's all about collaborating and co-creating with, it could be like someone at school. It looks like collaboration, whether it be inside an institution or within a relationship. Okay, so this is my last deck that I'm going to use for this reading. So if you're just hopping on, again, they're all independent readings. So just pick a card that's calling to you. Okay, card number 1. We have 9 of Wands. So this is you really moving forward, taking that internal power and your internal fire in order to push forward with whatever it is that you're working on. Make sure that you are using this energy that you have to make whatever you need to happen. So yeah, this is just like, this is like the motor card. Like, you have the energy, you have the creativity, you have the insight, you have the right recipe, and now you also have the motivation and the fuel to get it done. Okay, card number 2, we have Princess of Cups. Okay, so this is an emotional offer. Either you're making the emotional offer or you're receiving the emotional offer from somebody else. And this isn't, yes, it could easily be in partnership, but it could also be something like a friend offering support if they notice you're having a hard time. Or, you know, one of your family members kind of seeking that connection with you in order to extend a helping hand or an ear to listen. And card number 3, we have Ace of Swords. So this is independence, new ideas. It's very, very cerebral. It's all about concept rather than action. So this is like you're in the process of brainstorming is, you know, with the Ace of Swords, it's all about, you know, take the time to think about your ideas, figure out what exactly you want to get out of situation X, and then it's like this is the precursor to this. You know, this is the brainstorming before you actually have the energy to move forward. You really need to take the time to figure out and get clarity around the situation or your idea, in what way, what direction you want to go in. It's just all about taking the energy that you have cerebrally and kind of funneling it into, okay, this is where I'm going to focus. So this is that process for you. Okay, anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please drop a comment and let me know how you like this style of weekly messages, or if you'd rather me go back to the way I was doing it, or I can mix it up, whatever you guys want. So I hope you have a fabulous week, and yeah, I will see you next time. Have a good one, you guys.